So excited to meet you, Diana. So excited. I'll give a little bit kind of introduction, who you are and what we are doing here. I am truly so proud of having you as our guest, having you as our client, because Diana, you are one of these people whom I had the chance, to meet, who is truly embedded, your fullest potential on a daily basis. And I believe you are, you kind of stepped into your genius, and there are so many things you are kind of creating in this life, which has multiple, social impacts, and you are running those incredible several 6- and 7-figure businesses as mini boss in Latvia and Lithuania, as well as Soprana International, Personal International in Norway and Lithuania, and you as well a franchisee of the BNI Memel chapter. So yeah, welcome to our
Thank you.
Interview. It's truly a pleasure having you here, and I know you are busy, so I truly value your time. And I know you are in Riga right now.
Yes.
Yeah, super.
Yes, very intensive day.
Okay.
So thank you, Laura, for inviting me. I am really proud to be here with you. You're one of the most inspiring leaders personally for me. I will say this in public.
We're kind of attracting people of the same, energetic frequency, probably. So, all right. Okay, so let's get started. I remember it was during the second kind of pandemic period when you approached us, and we worked. I tried to calculate, was it like a couple of months, I believe, every week, and most of those days we worked, it was Sundays, which was so perfect. Yeah, and every of that session gave, I mean, to me, it was very enlightening, because we've been doing so much hands-on work, and there were literally zero blocks in your mindset about, taking your company to another level and truly understanding the reality. So I kind of want you to share with our listeners what triggered you to contact us, and what type of solution you were looking for, and how the entire process felt from your perspective.
Pandemics actually helped me as owner of the company look and probably opened some issues in the processes that I noticed when one of our services was stopped due to quarantine, because we work strongly with Norway for many years with the tourism sector. And actually it was the time that I saw one of our services that one stopped and the other is not probably working as profitable as it could, right? And of course, the goal of the business is not to solve only problems of businesses, but also, earn profit. So that was something that I was looking into during pandemics. And even though before that, I was thinking how to improve it, how to do it better, and so on. So at that time I remember I was looking in there, and for me, it was like, you're looking and you don't know where to start. And you probably remember in one of our meetings, I said, I feel like there is a ball of threads, and I can't find the end of it. So, and then we started going through the processes with you from the very beginning to, coming to the end result, and when we went through, I found out what was like even totally unexpected. And in the beginning for me it was like how to make it effective, and then it was like, okay, we have these bottlenecks which I did not even consider thinking, and then this increased the sales. This helped us to see where we could improve. This also was related to even legal agreement forms and all this, so it was time for a checkup. I loved that we have entered with a discipline in the teamwork. And again, this helped to see where in the teamwork we could do better. And there were some people who were saying, you know, I don't want to work this hard. It was better for me, like, to be like
invisible,
rider, you know, in the zero, in the in the blind zone, you know. It's like there are sometimes we do have, and it's probably normal for every company to have these, you know, flaws, because someone is working really hard, someone is working not that hard, but you know, they are the stars in the companies. So probably every company has it, but with discipline, you can follow up for everyone, and you can see results for everyone, you know. So, and it helps to sort out who is who can improve, what we can do better, where are we flaws, and what are our possibilities. And of course, I have developed this skill, and up until now we're doing it. We're making these discipline meetings every week, and it allows, if there are new members, to enter easier. On the other hand, to see who is not performing maybe that well, or not performing at all.
Yeah, so we all have this full transparency of our system and processes, and as well of our competence capabilities, because I truly believe in people, and I know that you do, but yeah, it can be true that we can, you know, choose a company where we are not under our sun. And I as well made some big insights working with you, because normally before you kind of we had those 8 and 9 figure business owners and their enterprises, and working with those like 100 million, 500 million and above companies and corporations. And suddenly during pandemic, because I wasn't, you know, traveling to those companies and been working online, I had more time to work with you and other few SMEs, CEOs of SMEs. And what I realized is that it is way easier to anchor back, that's the right wording, anchor back the essence of the business, like why Diana started it, or why, you know, another entrepreneur kind of made a decision to step out of the corporate, because you wanted to have your own playground, you know, without any rules from command above, and here you are as those brave people who made that decision. And suddenly your business is growing from that 6 to 7 figure, like stepping over, you know, 1 million and 2 and 5. And here you are stuck as that CEO who wanted to have a different type of system rather than bureaucracy and kind of, you know, I don't know, micromanaging people and etc. So what I realized was that that if I can start, we can at the Holistic Enterprise with my team start working with those type of companies who are yet, you know, not damaged, who yet doesn't have those, you know, big hierarchies, but their soul is still in there, then I can truly make way bigger, faster, you know, and more impact, rather than working with those huge, you know, 9-level companies, and transforming that mindset sometimes requires, you know, 3 years. So that was a big kind of a bigger moment for us and the team.
I think as well, you know, I also sometimes sense when I'm talking to managers of companies who are maybe not even the founders, you know, they are hired managers and they are performing maybe well, everything is good. But when you're owner of a company which is small, for me it was never about becoming like big, you know, to have a lot of people and so on. For me it was always about working efficiently and sustainable, you know, business. So for me it was about this. And then what also helped, because whenever you were sharing in our I remember one of the things, whenever we were sharing where we're going through the bottlenecks, remember the email part?
Oh yeah, I do.
Who is checking company's email?
Yeah, like yeah, info, add, and then something, and then nobody is responsible, or everybody's responsible, but then kind of
Nobody's
yeah,
taking care of it. And for me, it
exactly.
was like this moment, and I remember the feeling in there. It was like, oh my God, how could I miss it? It's so important. How could I miss it? You know, because you were following up on this process, on recruitment, and everything else. But then in this, we are a company that we're working with mostly through recommendations. We don't have any salesperson ourselves
Yeah.
for neither of the services. So, you know, it was such a eyes-opening thing. And it was like, we have incoming requests for our services and nobody's taking care of that. How could that happen, you know?
Happen, yeah.
And it was also a feeling of maybe a guilt and something like that, you know, it seemed like so stupid, you know. And then you said, you know, but you're not the only one. It's also happening with big companies who are, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
like huge companies. So then it's like, also on the other hand, it's like, I'm normal.
Yeah, this is completely normal because as I mentioned to you over Facebook chat and before this call, that there is a thing called the growth paradox, and when a company is growing, I mean, it's natural that we cannot hold, you know, all the balls like at once, because we just don't understand yet that ecosystem we are creating. And I feel that it's all, you know, we don't need to, you know, to be perfect at everything, as long as we have our anchored purpose with it and essence, and then continue, you know, just doing our best. But yeah, definitely once we are growing, so it's important that we are not chopping the company into parts and saying, okay, you're gonna do the marketing, and suddenly, you know, there is somebody doing sales and etc. Like, yeah, so it's important that there is this end-to-end holistic process. And yeah, guys, with those who are listening, you know, go to your info at inbox, open that and check that, because you know, I'm right now at the fantastic mastermind with an Australian lady. But before choosing her to work with and applying for, you know, her company, so I applied for another lady's company within coaching industry in Denmark, and I applied twice through her Facebook, and as well twice in the email, no response. So I already kind of, you know, look at them like, all right, you are doing PR, you are doing so much, you know, marketing ads and I see how much money she's putting in that, but basically the team is not absorbing the incoming demand. And it's kind of like, okay, so how do you guys, you know, how do you manage that then? So so yeah, check your info at inbox and see how many emails are there, because sometimes they're going even into the spam. So it happened to us actually today. But going back to your experience, you know what I wanted to ask you, I vividly remember this moment where you kind of felt that, okay, I, as Diana, imagined the reality as this. And then when we kind of dove into all these facts, we realized the reality as like based on facts. What would you want to say actually to those CEOs who are listening, and so they would never kind of have that vacuum between, you know, imaginary reality and the reality?
I would say, you know, just like we're talking about the things like regular health checks, you know, so company health, it's also very healthy to check your company's health regularly. And regularly, I mean really regularly,
Yeah.
not when there is already a problem. But one of the things is to follow the discipline. It already allows to be on time to follow up what is going on, what's the current health, you know, what's the pulse of the company. And this is what I also like now. We have these regular team meetings. I'm, as the owner, following up what is going on. I know where to look at, because at some point I was relying everything on my colleague who was responsible for that service only. And you know, it's normal when you're in the forest, you see the trees around you, you don't see the full picture. And so sometimes it's very healthy to do this. Also, another thing is we're often talking about leadership, you know, and delegating tasks and so on. So this helped to implement the leadership decision making, you know, all these goals in the team, because it's not only about, you know, that's important to see the whole vision, the whole picture for the owner or the managers of the company, but it's also very important for the team to see where we are going, how we are doing, and so that everyone could share this responsibility. If we are not performing well, how can we improve? And for me, as a manager, as the owner of the company, it's very important to ask people, how can I help you to improve, if they want to do that with this very important condition. So there are several ways how to check this health, you know, and I think it's what we have been doing. And even today before our meeting, it's the beginning of the year, you know, everyone is going to sports and so on. And I'm opening our chart and looking at it with new eyes, you know, and trying to think like, what can we do more? And this is what I was commenting in LinkedIn, that I can't wait until we go on further on with this, you know, because I have some more ideas.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love that you are kind of bringing this metaphor that it is like, you know, kind of looking at your health in a holistic way, and kind of having this routine that once in a year, well, at least when we work privately with our clients, we always instill that mindset and give all needed methods and tools so they can truly fast with their, you know, core teams, draw the entire picture of the business as a holistic system, interacting with the clients, with their, you know, suppliers and wider other systems, so they could see what is that overall purpose we are aiming with this business we created, and how each of those parts are actually contributing to the overall result. And what specifically I kind of ask them, it is to see the connections rather than, you know, being independent as separate silos and not talking to each other. And those meetings you speak about, I just love them. I mean, once they are kind of established, they as well, you know, having this content of information, allowing to see the forest, actually allowing to zoom out and see the entire forest, but at the same time zoom in. So it takes some time actually to pull out the needed information. I remember how we've been kind of drilling into your CRM systems and other systems and trying to say, okay, what's the zoom out, what's the zoom in? But it was fun, and yeah, it takes some time, but once it's set, as you say, I mean, it gives the pulse of the business, and I believe it gives some kind of, you know, safety rather than the feeling of, oh my God, I overlooked that and I feel guilty. So
now after it, I was also, when I was revising this, you know, so we have now we're working more efficiently. I mean, everyone knows what they are responsible for, you know. On the one hand, I also saw which service we should not even, you know, provide, and maybe we're putting focus in the wrong, on the wrong
direction.
We should get rid of it at all, you know. So,
fantastic.
And also, you know, the thing that the information, as for example, the payments, you know, from the clients, it seems like simple, and it seems like, again, accountant is responsible for this. But if you keep the discipline, you can have information just like this, you know, reachable within one click. And this is what I have learned to do on Fridays. It takes me 5 minutes, you know, to look over. And for me, I know the status and the health financially, you know, in there. So it also allows me to do the planning easier. So there are a lot of things. And when I was saying that you're like a doctor, you know, but a holistic doctor is responsible for the whole health and finding the cause, the bottleneck what is causing and making some symptoms, you know. So as in a sense in COVID times, you know, some people might have COVID and some will not because of their immune system. So this is how, as a company, we're working with our immune system by regularly checking the health and preventing what can be possible threats to the growth, you know. So in this case, it helped a lot within so many means, and yeah, I just love how we made it.
Oh yeah, and those Sundays, I love that it was on Sundays.
But you know, what else to do? Because on Monday, Friday, there are emails and phones, and I try to take off, you know, at least one day from the meetings, you know, and silence the emails and calls and focus on some things that I could do and that would help me to grow and, you know, have some information and so on, something that is sometimes urgent and you need to develop and find and observe everything, you know. But yeah,
that silent space is needed. And especially for continue. Yeah. Okay. And I have a couple more questions, Diana. So this question is about your big audacious goals or dreams. So with Soprana, you know, Personnel International, because it is a company which is working both in Scandinavia and Lithuania. And please correct me if, you know, I overlooked something. So what do you aim for, let's say, for this year with Soprana Personnel International?
Actually, just right after we were talking, and you know, Soprana and the North Baltic Solutions companies, they are both in HR, but one is outsourcing, the other is renting and headhunting services. And after we were talking, and I was saying that I want to grow one of the services, now we're remaking the website and all this, you know, all these things that I was going to do. And after that, we signed a contract with one company. They are a startup company for whom we have hired Spanish, Dutch, English, German, and other language native speakers who are coming or are living here in Lithuania. So it was something that helped me, our sessions, our meetings, it helped me to clear this or make this idea, you know, more defined, what I want to do and how I want to do it. So it was very helpful. And after that, that was probably one of my biggest things that I made myself, and I found the direction how to continue moving on it. So for this year, I hope it will be all growing. Also with Miniboss, we hope to expand and teach more children the skills that they need to have even while still studying in school, you know, how to be creative, how to be the people who are what do you call it? Ready for life, you know, who can create a better future for even us and so on.
Oh yeah, Miniboss is something truly impactful. I truly like that, and yeah, congratulations with the startup contract. I'm sure that, you know, it's gonna give you a fantastic case study to build on further other contracts. And my last question, Diana, is if there is someone like a CEO or a business owner sitting on the fence and thinking like, should I hire some consultancy working virtually with me, to kind of help them to look at the business as a whole and create those routines which allows to continuously have the zoom out and zoom in look and foresee everything what's around the corner. What would you tell them?
Definitely. You know, we have this saying, shoemakers without the shoes, right? So I think we cannot know everything ourselves. And also sometimes from a side, there are people who are more skilled than us and they can lead us like you did. And you led me to the decisions that I have made, you know. And so in this case, it is essential to have people, not only when we're saying, you know, for a company manager should have the salesperson on the right and finance person on the left, but I would say that we have to also have a second head, you know, who would help us to think more clearly, to see the person who sees the industry, the person who has the right tools and help to do the work, you know. So it is essential. Sometimes probably one of the biggest things is that company owners, they are saying, I want everything, I know everything, right? The other thing is like they probably, it's about trust, you know, when they don't know someone, consultant. And now we have to admit we have a lot of different kind of coaches, which is extremely popular name and so on, and everyone has this, but they don't have the results, you know, and they're working with different problems. And so I think it is essential to have such person, because it's like your employees, they will not always have the experience needed like this, you know, and they will not always know what to do. And when you have to be the leading example, you will not always know the answers yourselves. So you need someone smarter than you in your team.
Oh yeah, never be the smartest person in the room and you have a problem, right? So I love that. Our interview was really great, Diana, and thank you for taking, you know, this half an hour while you are on a business trip in Riga. I see a lovely view from you. It's probably Riga's old town, right? With all these small, tiny houses. Yeah, wonderful. So hopefully I'm gonna see you this year, you know, personally, and we will have some coffee or lunch together. And thank you one more time for being with us. And yeah, we will connect another time. I will stop.
I hope to see you next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday. Yeah, we can always do that. Okay, guys, see you all later. I will stop the live and we can chat. Well,
bye-bye.
Bye.